Previously, I was in a metal band,
hmm
and I was being lied to constantly. I just wanted to know how did they create it?
I see you live on Facebook a lot. You're very passionate about like a lot of the stuff you stand for.
Push. And while learning this, the industry is changing around me. Who is this guy?
Wow.
Pauly was the first person to walk up on me. He is that powerful being, and his promo game, it's incredible. Most memorable moment, I'm definitely gonna have to say when I opened up for Bobby Smurder. I took my attitude out of my music. Music is not just for me, it's for everybody. Carolina Kid. Carolina Kid is literally my short story of my life. It was Coach C,
Oh,
yo.
yeah.
So we just came up with a really cool theme and just got into severe trouble. I went to prison for 3 years, and I wanted to change my life.
This is Best for Business with your host, Coach C, Chris Sanders.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Best for Business. And when I changed the name, I said it, man. There's only one person I want to have for my first episode, Mr.Goodbarz, the singer of probably the best song and probably around. It's Coach C. Appreciate you.
Coach C, man, I just want to say it's an honor, it's a pleasure of being here, having fun, and being able to speak to you about business. And yo, your intake on wrestling is amazing, bro. I love your
Thank you.
interviews. I love watching. So I just want to say shout out to you, bro. For
Thank you,
real.
man. But today's about you, so let's hear. When did your love for music start?
Well, my love for music started at a very early age. My first song that like kind of opened my ears and my mindset to music was Art of Noise. And it was the song that was, it had that do 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 do, and it wasn't even a rap song. It was a pop song that was created. And I remember before going on a bus, I was like 12, 11 years old, and I was like, how did they create that? What made them put that together like that? And what did it take to put that together? All right, baby, I'll see you later. I love you too. What did it take to put that together?
Yeah.
And how did they do it? Did they use an instrument? And I set out to my journey to learn that. I went out and I was like, I didn't understand the business. I didn't understand music industry. I didn't understand publishing. I didn't understand writing. I just wanted to know how did they create it? And then from there on, a venture happened with me. This is my journey and led me to this point here.
So to go with that, when did you finally realize like this is something that you wanted to do? It was time you wanted to really make music.
So I moved from North Carolina to Maine at a young age because I got in trouble down south. And I ended up moving to New Hampshire. I got into severe trouble. I went to prison for 3 years. And I wanted to change my life. I wanted to do something. When I got released from jail, I was like, I really need, if I want to do music, if I want to take it to a new level, I have to take the time in myself and the discipline to understand what I'm doing. And I need to understand how to make money with it and be able to sustain and bring resources to my lifestyle and my livability so that I'm not doing something that takes me into a different area like jail. So I sat down with a couple guys. Big shout out to Beneficial Bane Carter. We came together. We were chilling in the car. At the time, email and phones were being used. Everybody was using the flip phones and the
Yeah.
sidekicks and shit. And so what I decided to do, we sat there, we exchanged emails, and we sat down one day in his studio. He said, I want to make a company. I want to call it Young Hustle League, YHL, and I want to be able to put this company together. He said, I don't want a record label. I just want an industry company that creates entertainment and puts it into a new light for people so that they're able to share and hold it down for themselves within music and grow with it. So he literally has the company name. I created this company logo on GIMP, which is GIMP, is a free version of Photoshop.
Wow. Yeah.
And bro, he has it tattooed on his stomach.
Wow.
So that's his dedication. Like he's super serious about
Yeah.
it. But once we did that, we took the steps. We started working with Troy Douglas. He brought Bobby Smurder and Derek Lemire, Remy Ma, Papoose to New Hampshire for the first time. And that's when I really got to see how they put shows together for like big arenas. We were in Lowell, Mass, and they put a big show together called the Fall Fiasco. I seen a lot of things happen in this fiasco. Job opportunities got lost, people lost money, tickets were lost, It was a lot going on, and I looked at it, everything, and I was just a guy putting up the lights, and I had to perform that night.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking, I was seeing what was wrong, what was good, what was right, what was good, what we needed, what we didn't need, and I just took that information in. I sat in back and came back to my own canvas, started putting things together. What kind of music do I want to push? And while learning this, the industry is changing around me.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world's changing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it like this. Let me make this a company. Let me show people how to own your music and put it on the right platform so that you can grow. That was my
Wow.
goal.
Yeah. And one of the things I want to mention, I see you live on Facebook a lot. You're very passionate about like a lot of the stuff you stand for. So like when does like the dedication and the passion come in for it?
That comes from previously I was in a metal band.
Mm-hmm.
And I was being lied to constantly within this band. And some personal issues got involved, girlfriend, boyfriend, relationship problems, things of that sort. And my dedication came from looking at all the people that were suffering and all the talented people that weren't getting what they wanted from their music. They wasn't receiving it. They wasn't able to schedule their right studio time and be able to put it together, or make sure that you have 5 beats you got to do today and submit them into this program so that you can get your music submitted for placement for video games. No one knew what to do. I'm sorry.
You're
No
good.
one, no, I see I'm getting passionate right there. No one knew what to do. So what I was able to do was sit down with them, go over the paperwork, go over certain things about music, and teach them how to do music theory and use it for yourself into a new area. And it's the lack of knowledge is what fuels my passion about it, because no one knows. The
Mm-hmm.
consumer mind doesn't know until you sit down with them and say, hey, this is how you do your BMI. This is how you do your distro kit. And this is how you get on Spotify, iTunes, so on and so forth. This is how you count your royalties. And I want to show people you can make music. I think there's this unsaid code between artists that be like, hey, oh, I want to keep my dexterity up, and I want to keep my integrity in my music. You can, but you got to learn how to sell it too. If you want it to sustain you and be functional in your life, if you want music to be functional in your life in today's age, you got to know how to sell it. If you don't know how to sell it, you're going to just be making music in your closet.
I love hearing that, investing in yourself, man. That was like one of those things, like, especially in like the Northeast when the rest comes to wrestling, like, not everyone has custom theme songs. And I know I don't
Yes.
wrestle, but I love posting content. So having that was huge. So it's an honor to have you being the one that did it. So once again, we're going to talk about it, but thank you very much, man.
Man, I had so much fun creating that.
Yeah.
Pauly was with me,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we had the guitar out, and I was just playing. I was like trying to see what we could do with it, and I was like, "Yo, he just needs to rock with this." Like as soon
Yeah.
as it come on, it's Coach C,
Oh,
yo.
yeah.
So we just came up with a really cool theme and just put it together. And Pauly was giving me ideas the whole time. He was like, "Yo, this is what you do. Like this is the type of rock stuff. Break it down here,
Yeah.
bridge." He's a great musician, low
Oh, he's the
key.
man.
He's so great at what he does. I love Pauly for that.
So we'll go into that. So what was your first encounter with him? Because he was the guy that first introduced. So the way I got in contact with you was he did a custom theme song for the group he manages. And I
Yes,
messaged
yes.
him and I'm like, that's genius. Like nobody's doing something like that. And then I'm like, what does it take to get, like, I originally thought he was gonna sing, but then he sends me you and like I couldn't be happier. So how did you first meet Paulywood?
I met Paulywood at rap night, but
Okay.
previously, the guy I mentioned before, Bang,
Hmm.
and Pauly have been friends for years.
Nice,
So,
nice.
like, when I met him, he didn't know who I was. I was just this new kid at rap night at the Shaskeen in Manchester. I come in, I9 is there, Jesse's there, the whole squad, everybody that runs rap night and stuff. And I'm this new kid. I'm new on the block. I'm introducing myself. I'm shaking hands. This is before I had the face paint on, because if you don't know,
Hmm.
I wear like the half face paint on stage. So this is before that. So I go on stage, I rap all the stuff I was writing when I was locked up. Like I'm spitting that. It's easy for me. I had like 18 freestyles on deck. And everybody was like, who is this guy?
Wow.
Pauly was the first person to walk up on me, shake my hand, pull me to the back, and talk to me like, so how can we get started making music? What do we need to do? Do you have a studio? I was like, well, right now, I literally at that time I was carrying my speakers and my whole musical studio on my back, bro.
Wow.
And I was going, yo, word.
Yeah.
I was going to
Wow.
people's houses, and I had, you know how like Link from Zelda has his sword from
Yeah,
his
yeah.
back?
Oh yeah.
I literally had a mic stand from my shoulders all the way back out.
Wow. Yeah.
So I would walk,
Dedication.
Yo,
Yeah.
I will walk up to your house like this. All
Uh-huh.
right, bet you ready to record? I have my speakers. I put my speakers out, set it up in your living room, your kitchen, your room, your mom's. It didn't matter to
Mhm.
me at
Yeah.
that time. It didn't matter. So I would just set up, and that's how I met Paulie. We would set up, make music. I went to his friend's Danger House. We
Mhm.
created his album, worked on his stuff. Oh, we were sampling. We took the Sega Genesis, and we would take sounds from Sega Genesis
Wow.
just to make beats,
Yeah.
bro. We were recorded it to the microphone and anything and everything to get what we wanted in music done. That's what we wanted, and that's why me and Paulie we like that. You know what I mean? We can't break apart, man.
And somebody that's I don't know if they're recently like starting to get into music, but he's been sending me a lot of updates. Frank Bones, he always
Yeah,
praising you. What are your thoughts on him? He rules, man.
yo, Frank is what needs to happen in the world where wrestling and music meet at a
Yeah. Oh yeah.
standstill, and it's like they come together and fuse to make this huge Gogeta or Go Tanks character. And Frank is that. He is that Super Saiyan. He is that powerful being. And his promo game, it's incredible.
Oh yeah.
His sermons, when he do his sermons, I
Mhm.
I see each sermon like a promo, and I hear him talk, and he's talking the truth.
Mhm.
He's telling like how it's motivational speaking on a rhythmic beat, and he does it perfect.
Yeah.
Like I would sit here and play, and he'll start talking, and it sounds like a promo, bro, for
Yeah.
wrestling. But it's his music, it's his expression. And I'm like, dog, Frankie, you got it. His voice can hit different timbres too. Like it could be really gritty. And then, yo, the other day, Frank was singing, bro. Frank
Wow.
was, yo,
That's
no word of a
awesome.
lie. He was singing, bro.
That's
I was like,
awesome.
get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here. You
that's
can sing.
awesome.
And his voice was like, ah, ah, ah. But he stopped that and he was like, ooh. And I was like, Frank can sing?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And he's always been on point, bro. He brings, I don't know if you know Flax, man.
Oh yeah,
He,
Flax.
yo, he brings Flax, man, through. Flax, man, is fire. I was
Yeah.
surprised by Flax. And they come through, bro. We sit right here in the studio and we just get to work and we talk about our ideas. Like I say, Frank, what do you want to do? He'll pull out. He always has notepads.
hmm
That's the one thing I appreciate him because he writes his ideas down so they can manifest, so he can see them in front of himself. And I love the fact that he does that.
I remember his first song I think he did. It was called I think Back in the Streets.
Yep.
And out of nowhere he just sent it to me. I'm like, bro, that's awesome. Then he just kept sending me over and over. And him and Paulywood, man, they're always talking about you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. They're my guys, man. Yo, I need you over here one time,
Oh,
coach.
I tell them you got to come down with them to a show one of these days.
I will. I know I will. I will. I think the next show me and Frankie got, we have a wrestling event for Nails Fest.
Okay.
Shout out to Casket and
Mhm.
NEK Productions. It's in Nottingham, New Hampshire. And then anytime you got a show, send me the link. Me
Absolutely.
and Goldie, the lovely lady that was just here,
Mhm.
will pull up with the cameras, everything, and take
Abs-
pictures.
So, for you, when it comes to like music, who are your biggest influences?
My biggest influences. So I have a repertoire of artists that I go to, and it's different. It's different types of hip hop.
Yeah.
My first go to is, I ain't gonna hold you, is Most Def from Black Star, Twali Kweli, Tech Nine, of course. That's like my hero. Ludacris is a solid third for me. Eminem, Dr. Dre. I take pieces from the West Coast and the East Coast and bring it together, like E40 for the West Coast, the way his expression, like the way he does that, his
Yeah.
voice changing, and like I take pieces and the nuances that I like the most from these guys and apply them to my vocabulary, to my verbiage, how I speak, and I add pieces of myself and the southernness that I come with.
Mhm.
And another couple cats. Oh, the Ghetto Boys with Scarface, Wu Tang Clan. I'm a huge Jadakiss, Styles P, Chic Luch fan. Onyx, ICP, of course. Shaggy Two Dope, I think, is the most fireest rapper in the whole Insane Clown
Yeah.
posse. He is fire. I listen to what he be rapping about, and he has an album where he talks about hip hop stuff too. And he's dope, man. He's
Yeah.
so fire. He's the most slept on artist, horrorcore artist out
Really.
there. I love Twisted. I love what they do. But my very very favorite guy, my newest favorite person, I would definitely have to say is Dave East, Exit Fame. Millie's, they right here out here in Mass. Big shout out to those guys and what they're doing for the culture. Jordan Lucas is dope. Hobson was, for me, Hobson was a good person to look at that's in the same bracket as me, as like the age bracket, and to
Mhm.
look at and be like, oh, you doing that like that over there. You're doing like a different, like a mental health, um, hip hop version of what I'm trying to do. And I loved what he did. He was signed to Little Easy E. And what he did was amazing, man. He
Nice.
just did a really great job at bringing mental health awareness and real ideas into hip hop again. It was awesome. I love Hobson for that.
So one of the things, man, like you mentioned it perfectly. When you did it's Coach C, the beat, the lyrics, everything. So when you're creating a song, can you like walk me through the process of making a song for deciding like what words to use, what beat to use for it?
Yes, of course, of course. So usually it depends on if I'm creating a song for someone or if I'm creating a song for someone else or for
Mhm.
myself. So if I'm creating a song for someone, I ask them three questions. Is it epic? What type of genre? And do you want me to sing on it? So
Mhm.
those are the three most important questions I ask. And the reason being is because depending on the genre, it may change in tempo.
Okay.
And if they want me to sing on it, and if they want it to be epic, the melody and notes may change. So I always start with chord progressions. I play a couple chord progressions. I'll play A minor on my keyboard right here, and I just like, okay, I like that. I like these notes. If I try to invoke emotions through my playing first. So when you hear me rap to it, I'm already bringing those emotions there with the instruments. If I'm making something for somebody else. For me, I just go making beats. I just start making beats. If I like something, I keep it. My first process of writing is if I'm writing for someone else, I go to their Facebook profile, pull up some of their posts and what they're talking about, and are they talking about spiritualness, or are they talking about being self-aware, politics, sports, and I go to the captions. I go to exactly what you say.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If you said something in the caption in a post that I like, I highlight it, I capture it, I look at it, and right now they have this thing that Lupier Fiasco created where it could take a word and explode the word and different things that relate to the word. So, but I
Wow.
was doing that mentally. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I would take certain words you would say and I would just expand off that. And sometimes you ever take explode, let go, distro, and take those words and just line them up, and then you fill in the gaps here and there with the words they've been saying.
Wow.
And that's how I formulate a verse or a hook or anything to add to the song itself. And then from there, I just go on. I just keep building, taking Lego blocks and putting pieces
Mhm.
together until I got a house.
Wow. So when you think about Mr. Goodbarz, where did the name come from?
The name came from a long, long time ago. Big shout out to Sideshow, aka Zach Song. He had a group with me called JDGB, Just Don't Get Better. And we were chilling in the Phoenician Motel in Seabrook, New Hampshire. And we just came from the store. We got a couple items and everything for the hotel while we was chilling there. And we were going to make music the whole night. And I spit a verse, and Zach just looked at me, and he was eating a Mr. Goodbar, and he was like, "Man, you just got them good."
Wow.
Yeah, I know, I know. That's how it happened. And
Yeah.
he was like, "You got them good bars, man." And at the time, my name was BT, and it stood for Black Tim, and I just didn't think it was marketable. But when he said Mr. Goodbarz, I was like, "Whoa, that's dope," because that's my favorite candy bar. And also, people can relate to it when they see the candy bar, they're gonna think of me. And I'm chocolate, and I could do that, I could run that like
Mhm.
that. And I was like, I
Yeah.
love this. So
Wow.
I ran the Mr. Goodbar thing, and I remember somebody come every time, every day, man, at least twice a week, someone would take a picture at the store and then send a picture of the Mr. Goodbar candy and send it to me. Like, oh, I saw you. I saw you. I like, no, you
That's
didn't. You didn't see me. You saw the candy, but it's really great
yeah.
for marketing. It's so awesome.
What has been like Mr. Goodbar's like most memorable moments in your music career so far?
My most memorable moment, I'm definitely gonna have to say when I opened up for Bobby Smurder. It was the first time I've ever been in an arena, and the people that were there were amazing, and I didn't expect them to really like my music. I didn't understand that when you say something, your words are magic,
Hmm.
and they can equalize out and equal to a reaction I didn't realize that. I was just rapping, trying to express myself.
Right.
And at that moment, I realized music is not just for me, it's for everybody. Even my music, even the music I make and I take so much time to really create, it's not just for me, it's for everybody to enjoy. And I took that to heart. I really did. I was like, you know what? My goal is to make a song for everybody, for every human on earth, at least make one song for them. That's
Wow.
my goal.
That's awesome. And then to go with that, what have been like some of your biggest challenges so far being in the music industry?
Finding people who have the same mindset as me that want to work within my company. Like I
Okay.
said before, I was in a metal band. Everything seemed cohesive and everything seemed to work out. But when relationships get into the middle of business and the lines become blurred, you start to see the person you're dealing with for the first time. And my one of my biggest challenges is learning how to let someone go that was always in my life and being able to look past them and be like, hey, I don't want no problems for you. I don't want no beef with you. I just want to let you go and release you away from what I'm trying to do because I don't want that energy here. It's not needed. So that was like my biggest challenge, letting go, splitting my emotion away from the music business and being able to look at both with a logical mindset and say, hey, this is what I want. You're doing this and I don't want that. So I'm gonna just, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
my own way. And being able to, oh, and another thing, being able to alchemize my energy that I put into music for creation and grabbing resources to pay off artists, producers, translucening that and equaling that out for everybody to work out for them. That's like the two I like.
Yeah.
It's separating emotions and making everything work so that people can get paid.
And then you mentioned earlier some of the venues and cities. What have been like some of your favorites that you've gotten to perform in?
My favorite city to perform in was Chicago. We went,
Wow.
yeah, it was, bro, it was
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm not even gonna hold you. So we finished the show. I met up with a couple people that I knew out there. Everything was
Mhm.
cool and kosher. We was celebrating, and we were on the bus heading onto the highway to head back
Mhm.
and try to get into our Airbnb. And we literally saw a cop covering up something, and the perception is crazy because we're looking and it's like that's not what we think it is. It's not an animal, that is a human being.
Mhm.
And I was just like, oh, that puts a lot into perspective. We are blessed. We are not that person, that situation. We have nothing to do with that. So it made me think like, okay, so I got to make sure that we're doing this with a purpose and with the mindset to grow because people are really getting hurt out here in the world. And even though the venue was great, but it was a realization like you are blessed and you can do things to change and you can do the best you can. That's all
Yeah.
you got to do.
Yeah. And then one of the things I like to ask for the wrestling, but we can relate this to music, is as a performer and a singer, and even when you create music, how do you like to handle like criticism and feedback and things like that?
Oh, I listen to all of it. I listen to
Mm.
all of it. And it is two types of criticism. I think I'm
Okay.
gonna say this.
Yeah.
It's the emotional criticism, like, oh, I don't like it because it's not my forte, and then it's like, yo, you should have held your breath there and then screamed the right way or said something or used this note. That type of criticism I like.
Hmm.
And then the other criticism, like just oh, I just hate it because I don't like it. I
Right.
asked them, I said, what you didn't like about it? Like how can I make it better? And they don't have any response to it. They always leave me on blank because I'm always receptive to those type of things. I want to know what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
If can I do this better? Can I do this better? Can I make this note sound better? I like a challenge, so I'm gonna accept it. I'm a video game player. I want to beat the game.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Oh
me.
yeah.
So, and I was able to take criticism and not only use it as a stepping stone, but a motivator, a push, the gas for my aspirations to do music. And that's what I do. I take it on the chin, man. You know what I mean? Like I just get strong about it and I'm like, okay, bet, you're right about that. And I'm gonna make sure I fix it on the next track.
Oh yeah. So when you think Mr. Goodbarz, how has your music evolved from when you first started and decided this was something you wanted to do to where it is now? How has that music evolved?
I took my attitude out of my music.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
took I took my attitude, my behavior, and my thought process away from it. I started creating for people.
Hmm.
And what I learned was you can catch fruit flies with sweet water and not vinegar. So if you want to catch consumers, give them something they like, give them something that tastes good, something that feels good, something that makes them dance and make them do their head like this a little bit. If you can get them to do that, you're on the right road to success. And I always wanted to be able to somehow in a small shape way form to relate to every single person that listens to my music. I want to be able to say, "Hey, you had that thought in your head too, didn't you?" I had that same thought. So because life is a hallucination that we all can agree upon.
Mhm.
So I try to like say, hey, you see what I see, you agree with that, I bet. So we on the same track, and that's that connection that I like and that connection that I love. And I think it took my music to a new level when I started making for others and not myself.
Yeah. So when you were live, I think it was either this time or the last time. I joined in a little later, bro. I forgot what you were saying. What are your thoughts on like the current state of how music is nowadays?
Man, whoo. That's a crazy question. I think the celebrities are the idea of a celebrity is long gone.
Okay.
We have influencers, content creators like yourself and me. We're both
Hmm.
that. And we can shake hands with these celebrities. Now, what celebrities are today to me are they're not gatekeepers. They're more or less like, hey, this is a person here. I want to present this person to the world, a co-sign. It's like if you go to a dealership to get a car, right? And you have somebody co-sign your car for you, like you know what I mean? It could be like your brother, sister, whatever. It's like the same type of thing. Like Redman co-signed me on one of my tracks, and then people went to the track to see it just because it was Redman.
Right.
And I feel like celebrities, their celebrityism is there. It's just the young people are headed towards more of the influencer content creation. So music as the music business is a multi-million dollar, billion-dollar business. And it's the best time to get into it. But just know what you're doing, own your name, own your brand, own what you have, understand what you're saying, and understand the motive about what you're saying. And I think right now, music is at its pivotal point where anybody can get in it. If you want to play an instrument, if you want to sing, if you want to dance, you can include yourself into it. And all you need to do is have an idea, present it very well for the people, and show them that you're interested into it and that you want to grow with it. And I think that's the best thing about it. You can grow with music now. Before it was like you had to go to the promoter and you had to go to the manager and then you have to sell tickets for the show to get put on. And then when you get put on, you do a 5 minute set opening up for a rapper that you never heard of that's somehow rocking it in the streets and rocking it online. But the internet now with Facebook, I can literally throw a show in here right now, sell a ticket for $1 on Facebook Live, and have multiple people jump in, interact with us. We can create games. I can set up T-shirts like, all right, this next song is called whatever, whatever. And if you know the first lyric and said in the comment, you can get a T-shirt. You
Yeah.
couldn't do that before. You had to go
That's
through a. That's crazy, right?
yeah. That's
And
nuts.
you couldn't do that before. You had to be able to say, "Oh, this is the promoter, this is the venue." Had to have a vendor's license and all this stuff to even say you got T-shirts for sales. One time, I found out that some of the metal bands they were paying the venue just to sell their T-shirts,
Wow.
and they had to get a piece of your cut. So let's say you were artists and you're not even making money off the show. Like you're coming to do a show,
Hmm.
it's for free, it was a pay on show. You sold some tickets, so you're in your head. You're like, all right, I'm gonna buy 100 shirts and I'm gonna sell $20 shirts so I can get some of that money back. That's like $200, $500, whatever it comes out to. I'm gonna get that money back. Then all of a sudden, the venue owner come up on him and said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna need you to pay us that money for you having your shirts on that table."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Whoa, what?
Yeah.
They did that to y'all?" And I was a consumer at the time. I was a fan. I was going to
Hmm.
see the show, but I was like, "They did that to y'all here? Like,
Yeah.
why?"
Yeah.
And then I realized something. Everybody's hungry, even the venues, and the venues are going out to these influencers and paying them for walkthroughs and paying them for come through and judge these people. Chanel West Coast just did a karaoke night and a talent show just recently, and she's back in the game. She's a celebrity, but she's an artist at first.
Hmm.
So she's over there getting paid to perform and also judge other artists. And I think she's doing great what she does. I worked with her myself. She's a really down to earth girl. She got her new MTV reality TV show coming out. Y'all check that out. You're going to see YHL up in there holding it down. Big ups to King Polo. So it's just about where you put yourself in certain situations so that you can grow and see the availability in music for yourself.
So when you talk about like how anybody can become an artist nowadays, if you had to, what would you give advice to somebody who wants to start?
Learn music theory.
Okay.
Learn the best tool to have within the studio is knowledge. Understand what their peoples are doing on the programs, DAW, the digital audio workstation. Understand how to track yourself. You don't have to learn the ins and outs of how to route and track out in Pro Tools with instruments. Just learn that like whenever red button is on, you have this much ceiling to rap
Yeah.
on so that you don't break the ceiling in it. Understand what you're doing. Take care of your voice if you're singing. Take care of your hands if you're playing instruments. Take care of your body if you're moving on stage or you're a dancer. Take care of yourself because you can't take care of other people if you can't take care of yourself. And when you make music, you're caring for other people.
Yeah.
So I try to tell artists learn as
Hmm.
much as possible and own everything. And also the one thing people don't tell you is get an entertainment lawyer.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, get an entertainment lawyer and talk to him about your contracts, what you want to do, and you don't have to hire him on. Get a consultation, like, hell, man, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be an entertainment company. Da 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 da. Just get that knowledge first before you start making Facebooks and Instagrams and Twitters. I wish I would have started with that first and then started creating my social media, excuse me, so I could have a straight path on how I wanted to pursue my career. I didn't. I had to go over here and come all the way back to my path and go all the way over here and come back to my path just to see what's going on. And knowledge, man, learn
Hmm.
as much as you can. That'd be the first, because anybody can do it if you learn
Right.
it and you take the discipline and put your mind to it. If a rapper came to me today and said, "Yo, I want to learn pianos," because I want to learn piano, my system was going crazy right now. That just drove me crazy. If you want to learn piano and put it on piano, you could be able to do that and put music out that is inherently yours and that you own.
So you mentioned it before, social media is huge in any industry. So how do
Yes.
you use it to market yourself?
Oh man, I use it like a tool. I
Yeah.
use it like a forklift. I use it like everything and any because it's free
Hmm.
and it's there. And my main goal on social media is to give knowledge.
Nice.
I built this character. I
Yeah.
literally built this character. It's like when you do a promo, when a wrestler goes into the ring, it's the same thing. Yes, I'm very passionate and it sounds kind of mean, but I'm not really being. The words I'm saying is not mean. It's the expression that feels like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh. When Stone Cold came out and dropped a beer on y'all, you felt the beer in your face. You like, oh my God, like he's such
Yeah.
a bad person, but he's out back chilling, eating food
Yeah.
and just vibing out with Undertaker. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's the type of thing like I like to bring to the table. And for me, social media has been an eye opener, a door opener. I am able to take what I create and my ideas and broadcast it on a span of people
Hmm.
easily, and I can target who I want. If I got an anime rap, I target anime people that like anime, people that like anime like I do. If I want a more street rap, I target the street people and people who like urban night type of music. And I take that analytics and I apply it to my music releases. I apply it to some of my artists that I work with today. And what social media has done for me, I remember when I first started my MySpace, I just wanted to talk to people,
Hmm.
which was like not a good idea. But
Yeah.
once they added that upload your own music thing, I saw something different on MySpace. I was like, hold up. I so people can listen to my music as long as I send them this one link. I don't need a Spotify. I don't need an iTunes. I don't need nothing. Just this one link. Once that happened, I was like, word, I'm in there.
Wow.
I want to do that. So
Yeah.
I just took that and I ran with it, bro. Ran.
Hmm.
MySpace was my first social media platform. Shout out to Levi on my football team, man. He put me onto it. And that's how I started on MySpace. And then Soldier Boy jumped off, and MySpace kind of went down.
Mhm.
And I finally got onto Facebook, and Facebook was more or less like the biz. When Facebook first came out, it was strictly business. Like it was like LinkedIn, how LinkedIn is
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
It was really strict, and now it's turned to this multimedia platform where you can literally go live and have 10 to 15, 20, hundreds of people watching you do whatever you do.
yeah.
And I use it like a tool. It's like a hammer for me for the
Mhm.
internet. It's literally a hammer.
And then one of the things a lot of my buddies wanted me to ask, because I told them I'm bringing on musicians now on my podcast. I forgot the name of it. A few months ago in class, we were messing around. There are a lot of new AI softwares that can just like make music out of nowhere. I think the Suno is a big one. So
Suno just got sued by Sony Music Group.
really, so like, what are your thoughts on like? I assume you assume something was gonna happen like this eventually.
I ain't gonna hold you. I like it.
Oh
I
yeah.
love AI. I don't like the fact that like they can literally take your voice, they can take my voice, they can use this podcast to do it, they can
Hmm.
strip it all down, cut certain parts of it, and take your voice and train an AI model that
Hmm.
has coding and inflections already installed into it.
Right.
And then take your timbre and make a voice with it. Now, I'm not gonna sit there and take someone else's music that's a famous artist that's signed and
Right.
do that. Suno, that's what Suno got sued for. But if I wanted to make an AI model off someone that has recordings off a past friend or something like that, I can take that model and use it to create something else for their family, like a happy birthday. I've done that multiple times.
Wow.
Now, I stumbled upon this AI generator, music generator that is really, really, really revolutionary. You can literally just type in the lyrics and then and like what type of genre of music you wanted to sing in,
Hmm.
and it would do it. And it sounds real,
Yeah.
and you could take the vocals out of it and you remaster the vocals. You could sing it yourself. A perfect example of it is BBL Drizzy. I know y'all, everybody's been in the Kendrick and Drake beef,
Mm.
but that BBL Drizzy sample is something that Metro Boomin put into AI, and what that them singing it is the Temptations, and it's not them singing it. It's just they took the words and what they said over years and years of time and put it into a program where it can spit out the words correctly.
Wow.
So when you hear BBL Drizzy,
Mhm.
that's not no one singing that. They literally use AI to make that.
So one of the things like I'm pumped to have you on because I'm learning a lot about you. I know you mentioned video games. You mentioned playing football, but like, what do you like to do outside of music?
Okay, so outside of music, I am a videographer.
Wow.
I will be going to Paulie's wedding and doing the
Nice.
videos there and pictures
Nice.
there. I'm also an avid gamer, and I'm also a cartoon creator. So out, yeah. So outside of music,
Yeah.
I'm doing multiple projects that have to deal with entertainment because I figured out that music is entertainment. So why not dive into it also and try to put my hands in it and see what I could do. Just recently, I got a placement on a video game that's on Steam. It's called Racing Underground 2057. It's supposed to be like the future version of Need for Speed. But I've delved my hands in multiple avenues for the reappropriation of good music.
Hmm.
And with me doing that, I go and talk to people, I learn, I teach, I learn from them, and I teach kids about how to record in the recording process. So when I'm not dealing with my
Yeah.
music, I'm teaching people how to do it. And that's mainly what I do. Like, to be honest, Coach C, like everything is music to me. Like
That's
it
awesome.
doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I wake up to it, I go to sleep to it, and I just keep going.
Now, out of all the songs you made, is there like one or a few that have like a special meaning or like one that's like really significant to you?
Yes, it's my premiere song that is on all platforms right now. It's Carolina Kid.
Okay.
Carolina Kid is literally my short story of my life in a 5 year span within a 2 minute song. So if you listen to the song, the hook changes twice, but it sounds the same.
Hmm.
And then through the verse, I tell you my influences. Oh yeah, shout out to Outkast, Andre 3000, the Big Boy, because that's the first people I shout out into the whole thing. And every instrument, every sound you hear in the song was played by my hands.
Wow.
It wasn't a computer. I didn't
Mm,
drag and drop. I literally played it with my hands. So that song is very important to me. It's my single, it's my headlining single. I
mm,
do that song on every show. I make sure people understand that song is mine. I make sure all the fans of me know and run by that song. One of the most infamous parts in the song is when I say, yeah, 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 and everybody gets crunk and they start stomping around because the beat changes. And I
mm.
want that to be enveloping the emotion thereof. And there's one more song that I got that I created for this young guy named Clark. Unfortunately he's not here with us no more, but he hit me up and he sent me a, a list of lyrics. It was crazy. He sent me like a notepad full of
Yeah.
lyrics, and he was like, "Yo, can you just make something out of this? Can you do something with this?" And I made the song. He purchased the song. He loved the song, and it was good. And then just recently, I want to say like 4 or 5 months ago, his mother reached out to me on his profile on Fiverr, and he was like, "Clark." She was like, "Clark is not here no more. Um, he unfortunately took himself out. Da 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 da. Is there any way you can publish the song so that we can like have his family listen to it and everything like that?" I said, "You want me to publish the song under my name?" And then she was like, "Yes, please publish the song." So we put it on Spotify. Oh, another one I did for a young lady, Charlie said, "Look, it's Coach C. Look, there go your song."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, Lost Cause. That's what it's
Okay.
called. Lost Cause. Lost Cause was created by me, but it was a song written by my friend Clark. And at the very end, he didn't write this part. I wrote it. And I basically said, "Hey, man, you have a friend in me. And if you need someone to talk to, you're more than welcome to." He didn't want that part in it. I added it because the song ended with him just taking himself out. And I say, "Hold up." I literally say in the song, "Hold up, wait. It's an angel in the speakers." And I start rapping. I'm like, "Yo, I got your back. If you need anything, I'm here for you." It's no cuss words. It's no ulterior motive.
Yeah.
It's literally me having a conversation with this person. God rest his soul, man. Big ups to Clark, man. He's a really cool guy. So Lost Cause and Carolina Kid are like my two headlining songs. Oh yeah, and You Ain't Gotta Worry is my first song I ever did with Go to You Goddess, my wife currently. That song too.
Wow. Yeah, I'll link him down in the description below. But when I asked you for notes of what we want to talk about, you said you had an album coming on the way.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
about that. Let's hear about it.
I got an album on the way. I got Banging Bars Part 2, and then I have Gold Bars Part 1. So Gold Bars is a collaboration between me and my wife, and it's a girls and guys love for each other, admitting it onto a track. And Banging Bars 2 is, so I'm dropping a double
Mhm.
feature album, but it's gonna be one. It's gonna be the YHL compilation album. But Banging Bars 2 is a dedication to Banging Bars 1, our first album that we ever made for the company. We distributed to all stores. We were in Walmart. We were in Roxbury, Mass. We were at FYE when FYE was big. Like I was making CDs, bro. I was going
Wow.
everywhere I
Yeah.
can. Bull Moose in Maine, anywhere I was going. And it was like the first album that me and this guy created together, and it was our first albums ever.
Mhm.
So we were able to add ourselves to it. So we got Banging Bars 2 and Gold Bars. Banging Bars 2 will include multiple artists from the New England area. Paulie's gonna be on it.
Awesome.
I think if we can get Frankie and Bang in the same room, they're gonna be on it. So we're gonna have a conglomerate of everybody in New England. Everybody that I've worked with in this studio is gonna be on that Banging Bars 2. Gold Bars is a love album.
Mhm.
It's a complete love album. That's
Yeah.
all it is. So those are the two big ones I'm working on right now.
Well, you mentioned all your songs, but not to be biased, but I think your best one might be It's Coach C.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So I want to hear the process on creating it. So, like, and I give you so much credit. So I remember hitting you up, telling you what I was looking for. And I
Yes.
remember it was my week of midterms. Like, you sent me it, and then I remember I stopped studying for like 2 hours. I sat there with headphones, like I listened to it. And then I was just because I knew, because you see, I post social media content all the time. Like, I knew I was
Bro,
gonna
you
use it.
are a social media whiz.
I
I
pre
love your content.
like
I
I'll sit
love
there and
it.
I'll post like 6 clips a day, whether it's wrestling, like gaming, anything. But like I knew it
Hmm.
was gonna come in clutch. So like I felt bad. Like sometimes I'll sit there, like couldn't sleep at like 1 in the morning, put the headphones on, and then be like, "Hey man, can we do this, this, this?" And
Yep.
then on top of it, my dad tells me all the time he loves the first beat you did. But
Yeah.
then I'm sitting there, I help coach my old high school football game. I get a text from you, and you say, "Hey man, I have another one for you." I
Yep.
heard that one, And like that was what I was looking for, man. Hearing it's Coach C, and like the thing that like my favorite part about the song was I gave you a lot of like keywords. Like Wolverine was my dad's wrestling name. Danger Boy is my
I love
uncle.
that.
Like you said something about the what title. It's right behind me. Like the
Yeah.
having the belt, the unit goods. Like some of my biggest mentors. So like when you added those keywords in there, like that meant a lot. Even Ryan at the end. So like walk me through that process of making probably your biggest hit of all time.
So I'm gonna tell you straight up, I wanted to make sure you were happy, bro.
Oh yeah.
That was my goal because when you know Paulie and
Mhm,
the fam and the group and the conglomerate, bro, I say, yo, that's family. That's how
mhm.
I see it off rip.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that you were happy with what was going on. And I wanted to feel like someone was wrestling
Yeah.
without wrestling.
Oh yeah.
That was my goal.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it feel like you was on the show, you were going in the ring, and but you're not even seeing it, you're just hearing it.
Oh
And
yeah.
that was my main goal. So I took the guitar, started playing around with it, played some chord progressions, it's Coach C, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Try to see where it was at. And I had some drums in the background. Unfortunately, I didn't have my drummer that I have now, but if I
Mhm.
had him, we probably would make something quicker. But I had my own drums, and I had drums playing in the background, and I'm playing it, and then the little girl you just saw that
Yeah.
came in, and I was playing. I was like, Coach C. She said, Coach C. And I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
If she's singing it, oh, it's gonna be a hit. And then, bro, I like just how I got my microphone here.
Mhm.
I grabbed my microphone, I sat down, I laid down the guitar, I laid down the drums, I put everything together, formatted it. I did I think on Coach C I did hook, verse, and then outro. I think that's
Mhm.
how I did it.
We did 3 verses.
We did three
Yeah.
verses. Yeah, so usually, yeah, so hook, hook, verse again, and then I outroed it out, and then when I went into the verses with the key words, I said, okay, so I lay down, like I said before, I lay down your key words,
Mhm.
see what I gotta say, and see what words explode out from that word itself. So Wolverine, and you think sharp claws, you
Oh, the
think
dress that now, like I remember people the first song you had that line, and everyone told me because like even in the summer I'm wearing like 3-piece all black suits and like just changing
oh
the tie maybe, or even like I'll get like custom like right here a custom teal suit or behind me.
yeah, I love that suit.
When you said dressing sharper than Wolverine, everyone was like, that is the line. Like that was something special, man.
I appreciate that, man. And that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I implied you within the song, like you as a whole and what Coach C stands for. The song is strong. It's motivative too. Like it
Yeah.
pushes you forward. It chugs along like a big train with coal in the back. It doesn't stop. And that's what I like about it. I was like, yeah, it's Coach C. He don't stop. He keeps going.
Yeah.
He runs, like he gets the touchdown. He makes sure he's dead. And
Yeah.
that's what I wanted for the song.
And then like little things like I'm even still like I'll listen to that thing all the time. Like I might tell you up and say like, hey man, it's like we might need another one soon
I
because
got
like
you. I got you.
I post like content so much. Like even one point you said Rhode Island, and then you hear in the back 401. I'm like, bro, like little things like that, man. That was so special. And like for me, like every day I'm posting wrestling clips or Madden clips or something, but at the end, like it's 10 seconds with like a graphic on my social media, but the song's playing. When I go on Twitch, I'm putting
Yes.
that's the intro. Like it's little things like that. And then the version without the lyrics, bro. Like, thank you for
Mhm.
everything, man.
I appreciate that, man. I had so much fun creating
Yeah.
that song, bro. And I that's what I wanted. I wanted it when you hear it, it was
Yeah.
fun, exciting, epic. It's here. It's Code C.
Yeah.
Boom. That's what I wanted, bro. So I try to envelop that into the song. And I wanted people to know when you, like I said before, when you hear that song,
Mhm.
you know it's Code C.
Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like Paulywood could probably tell you, which is why like I applaud him and Frank Bones. Like a lot of the guys like have like generic songs and like wrestling, like basic songs. But the second Paulywood, I think Paulywood told me ahead of time that he was making one like that, like got the wheels turning, man. So
Yeah, yeah.
thank you again.
I appreciate that, man. Anytime, bro. Anytime you need help with anything, I'm here for you.
And then the graphic I did for that, I remember I messaged the guy from Italy who lives there. And
Oh
I was like, I wanted the
man.
best of the best. And I was like, hey, can you put like the keywords on it too and everything?
Yeah, and he killed that. He did a
He
great
did crazy.
job.
He hit me up and he was like, what are you looking for? I'm like, maybe like match like the suit and tie behind me right there. But I'm like, the keywords, add some photos of me commentating. But like, no commentators have a custom theme song. So I'm
Nope.
just
You the
pushing out
only
content,
one.
man.
You the only one.
I know. But
Yes.
I like to end every interview the same way possible for wrestling. So I'll add in music. The day that you finally decide it's time to stop officially making music, what do you want Mr. Goodbar's legacy to be?
To never stop making music.
Right. Yeah.
No, I want
Yeah.
people to say, hey man, he came in with a basket of goodness, health, mindset, and he gave everybody a piece of it. He
Mm-hmm.
gave them a piece of a thought process. I wanted him to say, I want to say, no matter what the ingredients he had, it was love included in
Yeah.
everything he did. No matter what, if I'm old and I'm playing Super Mario 2 and I'm sitting in the old folks' home, they can sit there and say, yo, Bars, can you make a beat for me? Can you play that Coach C riff?
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
play that. I'm gonna play that riff. You know what I mean? And then by then, I might just play it from my brain, so I don't
Mhm.
even know what's gonna be
Yeah.
happening then. But I'm just saying, like, I want to be able to people to say, hey, no matter what, he tried to show people music and understand that music is life and vibration lives throughout all of us.
Yeah. Well, man, I want to thank you. The first bonus episode I'm doing on my podcast, man. Thank you very much for everything.
I appreciate you, Coach C, and let me know if you need any more help or anything. Come to the studio sometime. But I will
Absolutely.
see you. I will see you at Pauly's Welding though,
Oh
so we
yeah.
can link up.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you everybody for watching this episode, and this was officially Best for Business.